Again, I'd like to welcome everyone to how a veterinary practice can dominate social media. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Okay, so first we're going to go over defining social media management and the importance of social media management. Then I'm going to be talking about how to build a strong online community. I'll also be providing you guys with some resources that you can refer back to. These are resources that we provide and that'll speak specifically to veterinary practices and how you can apply social media and other digital marketing practices to your veterinary practice. And then after that, we'll be having the live Q&A to answer any questions you may have. All right, so what is social media management? It's monitoring, contributing to, filtering, measuring, and guiding the social media presence of a brand. And in this case, it would be your veterinary brand. It is marketing. It is designed to help practices gain leads and loyal clients by staying engaged and top of mind and providing helpful resources. And it really is not new. So word of mouth is one of the most powerful marketing strategies for any business, including veterinary practices. And social media has only enabled that. It used to be that you would need to, a client of yours would have to, probably talk about you and recommend you as a vet if they were looking for a vet, but now social media has allowed people to reach a broader audience and reach multiple people at the same time so they can actually, see on the spot and look for recommendations. And people do that. They'll go to social media and they'll look for recommendations on a lot of different things, including vets. So, all really that social media has done is just put it into a virtual presence rather than speaking face-to-face with someone. All right, so why is social media management important? Well, social media management allows you to reach and engage with more pet owners. So just to give you guys an idea of how big social media is, 30% of Facebook users are 25 to 34, which is a growing demographic that most businesses covet. Doesn't really matter what you're in. A lot of people are looking to reach out to that demographic, and there's plenty of millennials that have dogs and cats. And then also 5 new Facebook profiles are created each second. Just think about how many people that is. And if you it gives your practice an ever-growing audience to reach. And just so you know, the highest traffic occurs midweek between 1 and 3 p.m. and engagement is 18% higher on Thursdays and Fridays. So the reason I give you this information is really because you have to be mindful of this to post the right content at the right time. So, sometimes your audience is more likely to engage in the afternoon. Sometimes your audience is more likely to engage in the evenings, and I'll let you know, and I'll explain how you can figure that out specifically for your profile. So a couple of benefits to social media management. It increases awareness and it helps you gain referrals through today's form of word of mouth. So basically what happens is when people ask for recommendations, particularly on Facebook, Facebook will actually highlight those posts and show them really just prominently on the news feed. And people can chime in and they can tag your veterinary practice so that you get what's called a mention and you get an alert whenever someone does that, and basically it lets you know that someone is talking about you. It also allows you to easily assess your results through analytics. So every good social media platform is going to have some sort of analytics to let you know what is going on and give you metrics. So basically what you can do is go in and analyze those and see what's going on. It helps you improve client loyalty by staying engaged with them. So a lot of people, they'll follow their healthcare professionals, whether it's a vet practice, dentist, doctor, whatever it may be, to kind of stay engaged, stay informed, and also they just like you. They want to know what's going on, and it's just a really nice way to have information curated for people and then have it delivered to them, because a lot of people, that's how they get their information, their news, that's how they find out what's going on with their family. They just kind of log in and see what people are posting. It allows you to engage with pet owners through polls, status updates, and questions, and it's more cost-effective than most other types of marketings, particularly traditional marketing such as television, radio, and print. And it allows you to immediately address and answer basic customer service questions. So people may have a question on, if their dog ate something random on a walk and see if it's bad for them. So one thing that I found, I recently got a dog and I ran into an article that basically highlighted how dangerous mushrooms are, wild mushrooms, and how devastating it could be if your dog happens to find one of those, and I wouldn't have thought of that. So, that type of information is something that someone could potentially go to your page and ask you a question about, but they could also ask questions about, your hours, when you're open, where your location is, how to get there, that sort of thing. All right, so dominating social media basically means that you're building an online community. That's really what it comes down to. So in order to build a strong online community, really what you need to do is provide valuable, educational, and meaningful content to the people that are following you. So that means the post should be educational and relevant to your target audience's needs. Again, if you're hoping to attract dog owners for whatever reason, you're going to want to be posting about dogs. If your specialty is equestrian, then obviously you're going to want to be posting about horses and their healthcare and things to look out for. If you want to, and then you'll also want to promote any specials or events on social media to attract new followers and create excitement around your practice. So, if you're having an adoption, or if you're sponsoring an adoption, or if you're having a promotion for people that have recently adopted and are looking for a vet, that's something that you'll want to mention on social media. But avoid only posting promotional content, as that can come off as spammy. So basically what you're looking to do is balance information, education, sometimes funny posts. It is social media. We don't always have to be serious. With a mix of promotional content about your practice. A good rule of thumb is to have, maybe 3 posts that are about information in general, and then 1 post about you yourself. Also, you'll want to engage your followers because that allows you to cultivate a relationship with them. It builds trust and it helps you turn them into new customers or clients. So you'll want to ask satisfied clients to leave positive reviews on your practice's Facebook page, because actually reviews are very prominent on a Facebook page. So other pet owners can see what it's like to work with you. And of course, you'll want to respond to all comments, questions, private messages in a timely manner. Facebook actually does a thing where it provides you with a badge where it shows how quickly you are responding to people that private message you. It's obviously not going to show the messages, but it basically says, gets back to you within an hour or so. So what people will see is that if they private message you on Facebook, that they're very likely to hear back from you in a timely manner. And then comments are public, so they can tell if you haven't responded in a while. Also, you'll want to keep your target audience's need in mind when planning your content strategy. Your content has to be very deliberate. There's a plethora of content out there. You don't have to come up with all of it yourself. There's a lot of articles that you can share, but just be mindful of what it is that you're sharing and what topics it addresses, and just kind of keep track of what resonates with people. And then also these topics, you'll want to give them a reason to share and like and respond to your posts. Okay, so let's talk about managing your online community, because social is a two-way street, right? So there's 3 components to this. It's creating content, because you have to have something to talk about, managing engagement, so that's really the conversation part of it, and then responding to reviews, and that's really just the feedback portion about you and your practice. So in order to create effective posts to get more interactions, first you need to understand the needs and wants of pet owners. What are their interests, what are common questions that they have, what are their needs and wants, and can your services provide a solution to this? So for example, this is a really nice post here. Let me just get my laser pen. This is a nice post here, because here you can see it's just a little bit of information on what to do when your cat is in labor. This is probably something that, hopefully it was not something that a surprise pregnancy, but if it was, people are going to need a little bit of help knowing what to do in that time. So having this type of educational article up is very beneficial, because obviously they'll be interested in it if they have a pregnant pet. You can also post educational articles, tips, polls, and questions that are meaningful to pet owners. And like I said, you don't have to come up with all of this yourself. You can find these online. You can set up a simple Google alert, or you follow a few blogs. That's probably the easiest way to have articles sent to you, and also maybe just follow them on social media yourselves. If you follow any associations, you'll get most of this information. And then, it's a matter of just simply hitting share or saving the article for later so that you can schedule it. And then also you want to respond to comments frequently, and like I mentioned, so you'll want to keep a consistent schedule on how often you post. Doing it sporadically is going to work against you, particularly because of the algorithms. If they see that you're inconsistent, they're going to not show you as much to other people, and also you want to allow people to expect content from you, because then they're more likely to engage. And then, of course, reply to any comments within 24 hours and encourage pet owners to visit your social media pages and ask them for your thoughts. And that can easily be done in a post. Just add what we call a call to action, which basically means you're directing them to take an action on your post. On the flip side, you'll want to avoid any negative changes, commenting on any negative changes in your office, because, a change in personnel is the top of comes to mind. Bad jokes or personal Facebook pictures, anything that's irrelevant to your practice, you'll probably want to avoid. Don't treat it like your personal feed, treat it more like a little bit more professionally than that. Don't engage in any political debates. It doesn't really matter what your views are. You're going to lose no matter what you post, so just avoid those altogether. And then any highly opinionated posts. If you want to post something that's controversial, that's okay when done well. So typically what a lot of people do, and if you don't want to necessarily take a side, but you want to post something that could potentially spark a conversation, all you need to do is ask for people's thoughts, and they'll engage. And then, they probably won't engage with you in an aggressive manner. They'll just, give their opinion on what it is that you posted. So that's one way to avoid, any unnecessary Twitter feuds or Facebook feuds or anything like that. Okay, so when you're managing engagement, just remember that followers will interact with your practice on social media with a comment or a review. So social media is a two-way street. It is a conversation. You want to talk to people, and you want to address whatever it is that they say. So reply in a timely manner. Remember that everyone can see what you respond. So when you're responding, yes, respond to the person, but also keep in mind how you are articulating what it is that you're saying, and because other people are going to see that, and they're going to judge you based on your response. And that really dovetails into responding into reviews. So when you respond to a positive review, obviously publicly thank the reviewer for leaving a comment, and then personalize the response. So if you remember a pet that you treated, and you want to give them a shout out because they were really good, or they were really nice, a nice pet, then you'll want to add that in your response. And then if an employee or a staff member is mentioned in the review, let that staff member know, because it's always nice to hear that you did something right. I think with most client-facing type of professions, no news is good news. So when you do hear good news, you definitely want to share that. And then when responding to negative reviews, you'll want to address them quickly and directly with apologies and offer to make things better. Don't make excuses or come back with accusations. Even if you absolutely feel that the person was in the wrong, don't accuse them of anything, because that's all that's going to do is start an argument that you really don't need to be a part of, and other people don't really need to see. That just shines a bad light on you. And then try to move the conversation offline as quickly as possible. So here we give an example. You could say something to the effect of, you're sorry to hear that you had this experience. What's the best way to reach out so we can make things right? Okay, so these are some of the resources that I have provided. So these are all particular to veterinary practices. There's one right here, running a veterinary practice in the age of social media is really good if you want to get started with social media in particular. But we also want to provide other resources in digital marketing in general. So this one is SEO. This one speaks to website designs particularly, and then this one is just an all-around guide that kind of lets teaches you or talks about all the different digital marketing avenues that you could go down to market your practice online. Okay, so hopefully this information was helpful. If you have any questions about this webinar or any questions in general about marketing, please feel free to visit this link here or call us directly at this phone number. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and start answering some of your questions. Let's see what we have. Okay, so here's a good question. Assuming you don't already have many followers, how do you build up a following? So that really depends on how many followers you have. If you have a few, what I would say is start scheduling on a consistent basis and just teach your followers that you already have to expect some, some content. If you have less than 30, then I would probably invest in some advertising specifically to gain followers. I wouldn't throw too much money at it, maybe a couple, 20 bucks or so, and that will get you started so that you can promote your page and get the type of people or target the type of people that you want in your follower base. Okay, so how to, let's see, I have a couple of questions on how to post. I would say how to post on social media. If you do, you would just log in and put up a status update, and you could, just drop in a link to whatever post you want to do or whatever post you want to direct people to. Let's see. Oh, here's a good question. It says, building up the content before going live with a new page. What is good content to build? So I would start very general. I would start with maybe addressing some concerns that you typically hear from pet owners. So maybe before, for a couple of days, start recording or having your staff record the questions that they're getting from clients about patients and then about their patients, and then write those down and then address them more broadly on social media. That's something you could start doing, and then perhaps you can back it up with an article that you find online, or you could also set up Google alerts to with specific keywords that you think would give you content. What that'll do is it'll email you every time it finds content out on the internet about that specific topic that you asked for, and then that could give you a list of content. And then also what I personally like to do, because I run our corporate social media, I like to go to, influencers in the industry, and I follow their pages on Facebook. And then what I do is I actually, I save the posts. So you can actually save Facebook posts by going to the top right of any post, and there's a caret that will activate, when you click on it, it will activate a drop-down menu, and it'll allow you, it'll give you an option to save, and then from there you can go to your Facebook profile and you'll see all of the different articles that you've saved. That's just what I personally like to do. You don't have to do it that way, but I'm on, on Facebook all the time. It's just easier for me to do it that way. So yeah, I would say build that up, and then once you have, a couple of posts, then maybe I'd say maybe 10, then go ahead and publish your Facebook profile and you would be good to go. Okay, so would LinkedIn follow the same protocol as the social media examples? Yes, if you're interested in LinkedIn, but I would probably say gravitate more toward Facebook and Twitter because those are image-based, and probably Instagram for vets. I mean, there's a lot of cute, profiles out there that will showcase puppies and dogs and cats and a lot of cute animals. So, you know, those are very image-based type of content. So definitely post on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter because you'll be able to share that information. Not that you can't on LinkedIn, but for most vets, it would seem that their audience is probably more on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, which are more common social media profiles. Okay, it looks like the questions have slowed down a bit. I'm going to go ahead and end the presentation. Thank you so much for everyone that took the time to join in. But I'm going to hang on for a couple of minutes just in case there are any latent questions that are rolling in. Thank you so much for joining and have a great day.